everybody. One more time for Hoff, everybody. What do you guys say? This is exciting. It's very good to be here. I was excited to do the show. I put on a shirt for you guys. I call this look Pro-Choice Meth Cook. I hope you guys enjoy it. Does anybody here have $1? I'm kind of serious right now. A little bit. My cell phone was about to get shut off the other day, and I was waiting for this check to come in the mail. I didn't know what to do. I didn't have any money, so I called my mom, and I was like, Mom, can I borrow $40? I'll pay you back as soon as this check comes. And she was like, yeah, honey, it's fine, but just pay me back when you get the money. And then she accidentally deposited $4,000 in my account. And that was like all her money. And I didn't really know what to do. Like, do I just send the money back right away, or do I never talk to my mother again? I wrestled with that for a while. Do I do the right thing, or do I get the fuck out of Dodge? I finally came up with a solution. I sent her the money back, but I took $60. Like when you bank with Taylor Ketchum, he's going to hit you with a surcharge. You know, typical banking stuff. You know, and she was kind of annoyed, but she doesn't even realize what a bargain she got. You know, I was going to be gone. You know, and it only cost her $20 to keep having a son. So good for her. That's a blessing. I played football in college, and sometimes people ask me, why didn't you play in the NFL, man? As if I chose not to. It had nothing to do with a lack of talent. I just had better things to do with my time. You know, that's a weird assumption to make, you know, about like you go up to people and be like, oh, you were in the military? Why didn't you kill Osama? You know, it's kind of presumptuous, you know. Like I would just say no to that. Like Marty Schottenheimer would write me a check for $5 million, and I'd be like, thanks, but I was kind of hoping to have roommates in my 30s. A $1 million signing bonus sounds excellent, but how am I going to qualify for Medicaid? If I had that money. I might have to go. I don't wait tables anymore. It's been a while since I've done that. I might have to go back. That's frightening. I don't want to do that. If you've never waited tables, it's like being a single mother to 25 children you hope die. That's the only way I know how to compare it. Like, you know, people get pretty obnoxious and entitled when they go into restaurants. I was at a restaurant working years ago, and this guy came up to me when I was having a bad day, and he said, yeah, your eggs cage-free? I require cage-free eggs. Do you have those? And I was having a really bad day, and I didn't know what to do, so I just looked at him, and I was like, no. They're not. They're not cage-free. There's no such thing as cage-free eggs. You have to contain the chickens. If you don't, they just leave. Do you think this is some kind of steel mill they just clock into every day? They're just gonna wait it out 25 more years, dropping off these cage frees before they get their pension. You evil person. I've been seeing a therapist for a little while, and I'm trying to process through some of my abandonment issues, and she was supposed to come to the show tonight. I guess she had something better to do. She just went out for a pack of cigarettes and never came back. Round of applause, where my weed smokers at? grow up. Seriously, get a hold of yourself. People find out I don't smoke pot all the time. They're like, why don't you smoke weed, Taylor? There's like no side effects. I'm like, why do you talk like that? You sound like a Malibu lifeguard. And you work at a Quiznos in Astoria. That sounds like a pretty significant side effect that you might want to get checked out. I don't know. Go see a doctor and get on an antibiotic or something. Thank you guys. I recently got engaged to be married. That's exciting, right? Yes. I'm married with children. It's very exciting. I'm excited, man. I got a good girl. I met her in rehab. That's a true story. I've been with her a while. I met her in rehab. And guys, if you've never met a girl in rehab, you should really check it out. It's kind of the best place to meet girls. It really is. Because, like, you know when you ladies know about this. Like, you know when you go to a bar and you meet a guy and you can tell that he's lying to you about everything that he's about? You know, like he'll be like, yeah, I work in finance and I just bought a condo in Soho and things are going, everybody likes me. And guys do that because they don't feel good about themselves. They don't feel like they're enough. So they feel like they have to lie to you to make you think they're worthy. You don't have to do that when you meet a girl in rehab. Because both of you are losers. So you can just be yourself. You know, you can just be like, hey, I just found out that I have hepatitis. Do you want to go see Transformers later? Or, like, you can just step naturally to them, you know? It's kind of exciting. You can just be like, you know, I couldn't help but notice that you were crying in the Medline earlier. And I thought to myself, you know, I got a bus pass. What he said it to us, take a little ride and go refill that Zoloft prescription. Trying to figure out what medication audiences identify with most. It's been kind of difficult. I don't know why I revealed that information to you. You know, but you guys can laugh at my jokes, you can stare at me. Either way, I'm just going to go home and ejaculate into an empty White Castle bag. So, what happens here is really of no consequence. This is a pretty amazing statistic that I just read about inequality in the workplace. This is fucking insane. Did you know this? Black women in the American workplace are over 20 times more likely to not play that shit. They're over 30 times more likely to wish he would. I had to go back to California, where I'm from, to my grandpa's funeral recently, and he was like 94. So, you know, like, get the fuck out of here, old man. You're making people uncomfortable. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. He was a beautiful guy. But his funeral was at a church. It was at a Methodist church, which I was kind of blown away by because he never struck me as a very religious person. Like, he never talked to me about God, like, one time. And he had several years to do that. So I didn't really understand why I was at a church. But then I keep thinking, you kind of have to have your funeral at a church. You have to. Because there's nobody else in the business of burying you or your family. You know, you can't be like, Papa John's situation, you know? So if you're an atheist, like, I don't know what kind of funeral we could possibly have for you. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you got any plans for Steve now that he passed away? Well, he was never really into the Bible, so we're just gonna, you know, throw him in the garbage. We're gonna start a compost pile out back, make him part of Mother Earth. You know, or I might just put a sign around his neck that says free. I did that with a couch once. And it only took about 4 days for a homeless guy to start masturbating on it. So, do you ever look at a mentally ill person losing their mind in New York City and wonder to yourself, like, what combination of tragedies would it take for me to end up like them? I think I'd be wrapped in foil with a Viking helmet, talking about demons, you know, if I dropped my iPhone in the toilet. I don't think it would take much for me. I have mental illness in my family. My favorite uncle's schizophrenic, and that's why I'm paranoid about it, I think, you know? He's a beautiful guy. He's a kind, gifted man, but he's fucking tortured, you know? Every schizophrenic has the same voice in their head. You ever notice that? It's always the same. It's like, the CIA is coming after you. Push her off the subway platform. That's what God wants. That's what the Oracle wants. If you don't do it right now, motherfucker, we're coming to get you with the CIA, so you better do it. Do it now. Do it. You never hear about a schizophrenic that has a voice in his head that's like, dude, you can do anything if you just put your mind to it. Like, I think that'd be amazing. You know what I mean? I want that kind of schizophrenia, because if you had that kind of schizophrenia, you'd be a much more successful person, you know? Because you take a risk. Like if you had a voice in your head that was like, hey, you should really start that small business you've been thinking about. An espresso bar and a dry cleaners? That sounds like a foolproof plan. Hey, she's pretty. Ask her out. What's the worst that can happen? She says no. Those are just words. They can't hurt you. You guys were a lot of fun. Thank you so much.